In 2026, America redrew the global map, and it didn't use a single missile to do it. The weapon was smaller than your fingernail, and every nation on Earth is now reorganizing its strategy around it. The microchip is no longer just a technology product. It is the central axis of 21st century power. Here is why that matters more than anything else happening in geopolitics right now. Every modern defense system runs on semiconductors. Every AI model, every satellite guidance system, every encrypted military communication, every autonomous weapons platform, all of it depends on a continuous supply of advanced chips. This is not a technology story. It is a power story, and America understood that distinction earlier than anyone else and moved accordingly. What makes 2026 different from the early years of US-China tech tension is the depth of the move. The initial phase was about export controls, restricting which chips could be sold to which countries. That was the opening maneuver. What followed was structural. America began redesigning the entire global supply chain at the architectural level, not just at the transaction level. Domestic manufacturing investment scaled at a pace not seen since the space race. Facilities that were announced as future plans became operational realities. Strategic alliances, not just trade partnerships, but genuine technology alliances with binding commitments, were formalized with the nations that control the physical inputs to chip production. The goal was not to win a trade war. The goal was to make certain manufacturing and design capabilities geographically inseparable from American-aligned economic systems. This is the concept of technological sovereignty, and it is the most consequential strategic doctrine of this decade. The nation that controls the full stack, not just the finished chip, but the software used to design it, the lithography machines used to print it, the rare materials used to build those machines, the engineering talent pipeline, and the AI infrastructure that runs on top of it. That nation controls the nervous system of the modern global economy. Every other country's military capacity, economic output, and digital infrastructure runs through that nervous system in some form. The leverage this creates is not theoretical. It is structural and permanent. When you control the design software layer, every advanced chip on Earth is designed using tools you govern. When your allies control the only machines capable of printing chips at leading-edge scale, no competitor can build an alternative supply chain without your cooperation. When the talent ecosystem, the engineers, researchers, and institutions training the next generation, is concentrated within your sphere of influence, the knowledge compounds in one direction. These are not temporary advantages. They are engineered dependencies built to last decades. What 2026 represents is the moment this strategy became irreversible at scale. The window for a competing power to build a fully independent semiconductor ecosystem, from raw materials to finished AI infrastructure, has not closed completely, but it has narrowed in ways that will take a generation to challenge. The resource requirements, the time horizons, the compounding knowledge gap, all of it now works in favor of whoever is already inside the system. And America spent the last several years making sure that insider position belonged to itself and its closest partners. The strategic implication is this: future conflicts, economic, diplomatic, and potentially military, will increasingly be decided not on the battlefield in the traditional sense, but at the level of who can produce, sustain, and upgrade the technology that makes every modern battlefield function. A nation that cannot independently supply its defense systems with advanced chips is, in a meaningful strategic sense, dependent on the goodwill of whoever can. That dependency shapes foreign policy, alliance behavior, and negotiating leverage across every other domain. This is what a quiet power shift looks like. No declaration, no ceremony, just the patient, systematic construction of a technological order that places some nations inside the critical infrastructure of the future and others permanently outside it. The chip war was never just about chips. It was always about who gets to define the terms of the next era of global power. In the next video, we break down how corporate influence interacts with political power in America.